I have told you that Donald Trump is a notorious liar. I think a lot of people believe me, but obviously some didn't. He won the elections. Now, a lot of the Trump supporters know kind of what they're getting. They're like, look, you can't believe everything he says. But what was I going to do? Vote for the establishment? I hate the establishment. I understand that, brother. Some, on the other hand, think he's the second coming of Jesus. I literally talked to a cabbie who said, second Jesus. He's the Jesus 2.0, okay? So now Jesus would never lie to you, right? And what was one of the main promises that Donald Trump made during the campaign? Lock her up. Lock her up. That they were going to investigate Hillary Clinton and lock her up. Now, I was worried about that because that's not the way you handle a democracy. So after the election, it turns out he was kidding/lying and said, nah, we're not really going to lock her up. That would be ridiculous, man. That was just to rile up idiots who actually believed in me. So good, I'm happy about that because either way, I don't think you should be locking up your political opponents. But do you guys know, if you're a Trump supporter, you're out there, did you know that he was kidding/lying when he was saying lock her up and that they're going to investigate her? Did you know that he was just messing with you and playing you for a fool? Because you guys were chanting it. It seemed like you were really into it. Seems like you really wanted to do it. In fact, he's going around doing these thank you rallies now, and they're still chanting it. So look at this. This is Trump's reaction after they start chanting, lock her up. This is now, of course, obviously after the election. Watch.
And Hillary, and they were going to Michigan. No, it's okay. No, forget it. That plays great before the election. No, we don't care, right?
Unbelievable. Now, look, it's not unbelievable to me. I know he's a notorious liar. I didn't make that up. I studied him. And I showed you literally over 100 different lies that Donald Trump has done throughout his career. Doesn't brazenly, doesn't care. Look, he just did it. But if you believed him, he's basically mocking you to your face right there. You're like, that played well before the election. Now we don't care, do we? And just think about whether you held any other politician to this standard. If Hillary Clinton, after she got elected, in an alternate universe, had said, oh, all that stuff where I was saying that I was going to be tough on the bankers and I cared about income inequality, that just played well before the election. Of course I'm going to let the bankers run the whole economy. I don't care. Could you imagine? Heads would have exploded. Can you imagine if Bernie Sanders said after the election, oh, that income inequality stuff played well before the election, but now I don't care. What? If Obama said afterwards, oh, the change placards, I was just messing with you, man. That played well before the election. I'm not going to give you any change. I don't care. What? Now, some of that might be true, especially the Obama one and the Hillary Clinton one. Okay, but am I giving him credit to Donald Trump for honestly telling you what an unbelievable liar he is? I guess. It's like Rand Paul once told me, Donald Trump is the truth-telling without the truth. Bottom line is, now, if you weren't already, be forewarned. Next time he promises you something, understand that most of the time he doesn't mean it. Because he's just told you over and over again. So the reason I bring up Hillary Clinton, Obama, all those guys, is because if they did it, you would be enraged. You'd be like, look at this politician who's just out there to get our votes but doesn't actually care about us and was lying to us throughout. So just hold him to the same standard. And the next time Trump tells you he's going to build a wall or he's not going to do a trade deal like TPP, although he just put somebody in charge of Secretary of State who actually loves the TPP deal, and you hear pretty little lies like that, be forewarned, brother. It's not like we didn't tell you. It's not like he didn't tell you. He's a notorious liar, and he likes to laugh about it later, sometimes to your face. You know who makes independent media possible? You guys. Because of you, we can actually do this show free of any outside influence. That's what makes us so strong. Become a member today. tytnetwork.com/join. You are the media.